Real YouTube. I'm gonna leave it. How can I fix this? Real YouTube is need a haircut. I need a haircut. What is this? There's less than half of these are letters. Oh my god, that's so funny. I can't breathe. Imagine you were like, okay, this guy has 200,000 subscribers. Let's look at his intro. Oh my god. Okay. 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 Well, that wasn't what I expected to happen. Let's just take a breather. Okay. Oh, okay. Let's do this. Do this. I can do this. Okay. Oh, that was a lot. I wasn't really expecting that. I don't know why I thought that was so funny. Okay, so today we're gonna be ranking evil, villain, team leaders, evil. No one's really evil, right? Giovanni is good man. Anyway, we're gonna be ranking the villains from Pokemon on how good they'd be at competitive Pokemon. We did something like this for gym leaders. People really enjoyed the video, and so I'm doing one for team leader, like evil team leader bosses as well. We have Rocket, aka Giovanni. We have Aqua, aka Archie. Magma, aka Maxie. Then, oh god, Galactic, which is Cyrus. I think Chorus is with whatever Gets is with. I forget their name. Plasma? And then Flare. Oh, Flare was the worst. So we have Chorus, Getsis, Lysander, Guzma. It's your boy. From the Aether Foundation. That's the evil team, right? Or is it? No, the Aether Foundation isn't the team. There's another evil team. I don't remember. Skull? Oh, yeah. Skull was also really bad. Man, they really fell off the last few years. Oh, we don't have the current one. Oh, because there really isn't, like, a Team Flare one, right? Or a Team Yell one. I don't know. Maybe there isn't people we've had in the comments. But yeah, this is what we're working with here. I've gone through and... So what I didn't do for the gym leader thing that a lot of people asked for was I didn't use the most recent version of everyone's teams. Because technically, a lot of them showed up in the gym... Oh, it wasn't gym leaders, it was champions. And the champions one, a lot of them showed up in, like, Black and White 2, I think. In some kind of world tournament. But, yeah, I didn't do that. So for this one, I am going to do that. Basically, most of these appear in Rainbow Rocket in Generation 7. So I'm going to use their teams from there. Yeah, so we'll be ranking them. This is Giovanni's team in Ultra Moon. He's got Dugtrio, Nidoking, Nidoqueen, Rhyperior, and Mewtwo. A lot of these only have 5 Pokemon, so... Yeah, a couple assumptions also before we get into this really in depth is that we're going to be giving the benefit of the doubt. So for Giovanni, we'll only be treating with like Gen 1 Pokemon and evolutions because he has Rhyperior. And I will assume that he's in some kind of the format where opponent can only use 1 legendary as well. We're also going to ignore the moves and just say that like we'll give them the best possible moves you can think of. Giovanni's team is okay, I think. The real problem is that he's super weak to like water, ground, and grass. And Mewtwo's not the most bulky Pokemon, though it does hold a Mega Stone, which is interesting. Although it wouldn't be able to Mega Evolve in Generation 8 anyway. With Dynamax, I think he could do some interesting things. Like you could do like Bulldoze Dugtrio and then Dynamax weak to Policy Rhyperior. Mewtwo's a pretty strong Mon, not gonna lie. It does kind of compensate like for a lot of the weaknesses that he has. Yeah, like not explicitly because like it's not like Mewtwo resists ground or water or grass, but just by virtue of being a fast, offensive, really offensive Pokemon, I think it could do some interesting things. Mewtwo's also interesting to me because it has the option to Trick Room if it wants. Trick Room Mewtwo actually top cut the World Championships, and so that was a long time ago. That was in 2010, so there's no guarantee it'd be good now. Basically, like I feel like Giovanni has 2 really good Pokemon which might be able to carry him, and then 3 Pokemon that are kind of mediocre. Nidoking and Nidoqueen aren't in the game. They're not bad Pokemon, but the problem is that they have the exact same typing. And yeah, Dugtrio isn't super great. Although actually, I think the one thing about Dugtrio is that you can use it to Arena Trap. Like, you can use Dugtrio and then, like, offensive Mewtwo. If you could, like, Dynamax your Mewtwo and then give it, like, a bunch of coverage moves, I think it would actually be kind of strong. So, yeah, I feel like Giovanni has a lot going for him. Like, the typing kills him, honestly. Like, he has 2 really strong Pokemon, but the typing of the overall board is just pretty terrible. However, the Pokemon that he has are good, so for that reason, I think he's a solid B tier. Like, he could do okay, I think, compared to some of the other ones. Like, he's not terrible, but he's not great either. He would have to work pretty hard. I guess type themes are going to be a pretty common theme here. Next up, we have Maxie, who has Groudon, Camerupt, 2 Poison, and a Dark type. So, Maxie's interesting to me because he has different types, which is nice. He has 2 poison types without ground weaknesses, which is really nice. Even though Mightyena is a pretty trash Pokemon in general, it has Intimidate, which is like a good supporting move. Crobat actually is a pretty good support Pokemon as well. Crobat Groudon can do some really interesting things because you're able to set Tailwind immediately and then go for like Eruption or Precipice Blade. You can also haze away like Intimidates and stuff, and Super Fang to cut things health in half. I actually think this is a really strong team. I'm not going to lie to you. I think this is probably an S tier team. Like, Camerupt isn't amazing. Okay, you know what? This is an A tier team. This is an A tier team, I think. Camerupt is actually kind of interesting because you can use it in Trick Room to kind of be a Trick Room answer, although it's not great. Camerupt really isn't adding a lot here. I feel like you have a lot you can work with here, though. He's definitely better than Giovanni. Yeah. Weezing's not the best Pokemon. If we assume he could use Galarian Weezing, that would be interesting, although... is it Galarian? Yeah, Galarian Weezing, that would be interesting, although I don't think it would help too much with Groudon. Although, it depends if Primal Groudon or regular Groudon are legal in the format. Assuming Primal Groudon, I think Crobat plus Groudon is enough that you can probably win the game on your own, even with no good Pokemon in the back, but... yeah. Basically, Crobat's an amazing support Pokemon, which can use Taunt to stop Trick Room, Super Fang, and Tailwind, and Haze, and it can use Brave Bird as well. Groudon is going to be your main sweeper on this team, and then the others, Mightyena could be, like, Intimidate. I actually think you can consider using, like, Eject Button, just to get a free switch here. Weezing, I don't really know what you do with. Maybe you use Weezing and Mightyena as, like, physical, like, to beat physical Pokemon, because Mightyena drops attack, and Weezing has high physical defense. And Camerupt doesn't really add much, so, yeah. For that reason, though, like, Groudon and Crobat is really strong. Yeah. So for that reason, I'm going to put Maxie in A tier. I don't think he's S tier. I'm not sure if we're going to have an S tier. I'm not sure if anyone will be better than that. Although we have Archie, who also has Kyogre plus Crobat. Excuse me. Kyogre plus Crobat is really strong. So for the same reason, Groudon plus Crobat is really strong. Mightyena actually probably helps Kyogre more than it helps Groudon because Kyogre is more specially bulky than physically bulky. However, Muck, I would argue, is worse than... Weezing, but Sharpedo is definitely better than Camerupt. So if you can use, okay, let's assume you can use a Alolan Muck, which I think is fair. This is actually a really good team. You have a Alolan Muck whose only weakness is ground. You have a ground immune. You have Intimidate. You have 2 Pokemon that mess up ground types. You have Kyogre plus Crobat. Yeah, this is actually a super strong team. Sharpedo is actually interesting. You can do some interesting things with it. There have been teams that use Sharpedo before. I actually almost lost to one, to like a Destiny Bond Sharpedo in regionals. I beat it, but yeah, it was scary for sure. But yeah, Sharpedo gets speed boost, and like, I don't know, there's some interesting things you could do with it. So he actually has really good speed control. Thank you for subscribing. Join the sub Discord. Muck is a great Pokemon if it's a Alolan form. Alolan Muck is a very, very strong Pokemon. With knockoff and poison jab and protect and recycle and shadow sneak and all these different options, it's just it's a super good Pokemon that really makes use of it's good typing offensively and defensively. And so yeah, for that reason, I think Muck is like actually really good as a Pokemon, and only in a Alolan form. Base form he's kind of trash, but yeah, it's fine. And yeah, Crobat plus Kyogre is super strong. Like, you could destroy teams with Crobat Kyogre. People have destroyed teams with Crobat Kyogre in the past. So yeah, for that reason, we're gonna go ahead and put Archie actually in the S tier, because Maxie is almost S tier in my opinion. He just he has the pieces for it, kind of similar to Giovanni. He has 2 really strong pieces, and then 3 pieces that are not very strong. And so for that reason, his 2 pieces are super strong, so we're putting him in A tier, but they're not strong enough to put him in S tier. Whereas with Archie, he has 2 of the like broken pieces, but the other pieces are actually not bad as well. Like, they're not great, don't get me wrong. No one's ever like, yes, I got Sharpedo, Mightyena, right? But they're good enough that you can like that it doesn't hinder the rest of the team. The Muck honestly is the saving grace, I think. Next up, Cyrus. So Cyrus is an interesting team. Lots of Crobat actually. Crobat, Weavile, Dialga, Honchkrow, and Houndoom. So his type synergy is pretty bad. You can see his 4 rock weaknesses in Dialga, meaning any kind of ground Pokemon with Rock Slide is going to do a lot of damage to him. However, there are some interesting things he can do. Houndoom and Honchkrow are pretty bad, but Crobat, Dialga, and Weavile aren't super terrible. And even Houndoom's not awful. Like, Dialga's pretty good against a lot of Pokemon, and Dialga Houndoom actually has decent offensive synergy. And you have Crobat for speed control as well. Dialga offers Trick Room, if it can Trick Room for itself, even though not that many other Pokemon on the team want Trick Room. But you could have, like, slow Honchkrow and Dialga, and have Trick Room Dialga, and then have Honchkrow, and then, yeah, like, have Fast Mode with Crobat, like, have Mid-Speed Dialga. And Weavile, although it's not great, isn't terrible either. You can give it a Focus Sash to keep it around. Yeah, I'm trying to think there's anything else you can do with it. Priority Attack is nice. Fake Out is nice. I feel like Cyrus is okay. Like, he doesn't have that much going for him, but Dialga, he also could have Palkia as well. If he had Palkia, would that help or hurt? Probably about the same. I think he's a B tier trainer. Yeah, let me take a look. Yeah, in Ultra Moon, he has Palkia over Dialga. Yeah, I think he's probably B tier. Like, kind of similar to Giovanni, although he's honestly kind of better than Giovanni. Right? He is better than Giovanni. Although Giovanni is... Nah, he's probably pretty close, actually. So, yeah, I think Cyrus is fair there. Next up, we have Ghetsis. So, Ghetsis is a really cool team. It's Gen 5 exclusive. I'm a little biased because these are some of my favorite Pokemon. You gotta have Reshiram as well instead of Zekrom. That's the other thing. So, Cofagrigus, Bisharp, Beaufalon, Hydreigon, Zekrom, or Reshiram. It's hard with 5 Pokemon, I'm gonna be honest. When they only have 5 Pokemon, it makes it difficult for me. I actually like this team a lot. With Cofagrigus Beaufalon, you actually have a really nice Tricker mode. You can go trick, like, because Beaufalon actually has really high attack, and it has Head Charge, as you can see, which, yeah, like, and Cofagrigus is very hard to stop Tricker from going up for. So you could very easily do, like, Bisharp and a Dragon type up front, or 2 Dragon types up front, do some damage, and then try to win with Beaufalon and Cofagrigus in the back. I think that would actually be a legitimate strategy. If you were trying to use this team, and I think it would work pretty well as well, if I had to guess. So, yeah, that's actually a pretty nice combination. It doesn't have the immediate offensive pressure of, like, Kyogre Groudon or Kyogre Crobat or Crobat Groudon. However, it has better Pokemon across the board. Beaufalon, Bisharp, Hydreigon, those are all good Pokemon. This team makes the least use out of pretty much any team we've seen so far of the legendary Pokemon, since both Zekrom and Reshiram are not amazing Pokemon. However, like, yeah, it's still fine. I think you'd probably use Reshiram over Zekrom in this comp. I actually think this is an A tier trainer, personally. Yeah, because the Pokemon are all, like, they're all decent at the very least, so I like it. Okay, next up we have Lysander, who, okay, Lysander is trash, but he has Xerneas. Man. What are we gonna do with this? Because, okay, let's ignore Xerneas, this team is trash. But then you have Geomancy Xerneas, and you're like, oh, this team is broken. It's so stupid. Xerneas is so broken. You have Intimidate plus Xerneas plus Fake Out. I have to put him in the S tier. There's no way, like, in a metagame with the rest, like, if we have a tournament, there's no way he would lose. Right? Oh, actually, but the other gym, okay, didn't you know the other ones have counterpicked him? Because they all have Haze Crobat, and Taunt Crobat, which is one of the best. Like, Crobat shuts down this whole team, which is really funny. Yeah, like, Crobat literally beats this whole team. Which I didn't expect to say, but here we are. So, yeah, but even still, like, they're not playing against each other. We're just talking about them in general. So, yeah, I think he's definitely S tier. Xerneas is too powerful. Even though a lot of these Pokemon aren't great, although Mienshao is okay and Gyarados is good, yeah, like, Xerneas is broken. Interesting. Okay, so Colress has all Steel-type Pokemon and Electric-type Pokemon, and Spahiam. This team's actually kind of cool. I'm not going to lie. He doesn't have a Legendary Pokemon, which definitely hurts him a lot. However, Rotom, Metagross, and Klinklang and Magnezone, like, they're all, like, good Pokemon. Rotom and Metagross are especially good. You can do some interesting things there. And he's really actually kind of compensated for his weaknesses pretty well. Because I guess it's not fair to think about that he doesn't have a legendary Pokemon, because this is no longer from the Rainbow Rocket stuff. This is, like, from his actual game. So I think it's fair that he doesn't have a legendary. You could do, like, you have 2 Trick Room setters on this team, which is actually super nice, in Behemoth and Klinklang. This team is pretty slow. I actually like this team a lot. I think this is an A or an S tier team. We're not comparing it to, like, we're thinking about it in general and not with, like, in this case, we're not comparing that he doesn't have a legendary. Like, I don't think it's fair that, now that I think about it more, for that to hurt him, because he's not from the same tournament as the rest of them. So, like, yeah, like, we assume that he plays in a format without one legendary on his team. So, whereas we assume the others play with, you know, one legendary on their team. So, yeah, let's see. Honestly, I like this team a lot. I think this is going to be an A or an S tier team. You have, like, Magneton and Magnezone are, There's 4 ground weaknesses and 1 immunity. This is, I think, an A tier team. It has a lot going for it. Like, Metagross and Rotom are really strong. You have 2 Trick Room setters. But yeah, the constant ground weaknesses are pretty painful, actually. You could argue B tier, I think, for this one. So Guzma has Mono Bug, Golisopod, Ariados, Masquerain, Pinsir, and Scissor. And Bug is the worst type, in my opinion. So he has Scissor, which is good. The rest of these are trash. There's not much to say. This is going to be the lowest tier for sure. We might delete the D tier if there's nobody in C tier and just make this a 4-tier tier list. However, yeah, Guzma doesn't really have anything going for him. Like, Masquerain is his only option of speed control unless you want to use, like, Sticky Web. I don't even know if Masquerain gets Tailwind anymore. Yeah. Golisopod's not a good Pokemon at all. Scissor is good, but, like, not good enough. Yeah, I don't want to talk about this team. It makes me sad. It's your boy Guzma. Next up, we have Lucemon, who's crazy, by the way. If you guys played that, I just remember the one game where she goes off the rails. Freaked me out. She has Lopunny. She uses, like, all cute Pokemon, which I think is kind of weird. Why? Like, why? Why is she doing this? She uses Clefable, Lilliganti, Lopunny, Milotic, and Bewear. Milotic is good. Clefable gets Follow Me. Bewear is offensive. Lilligant is annoying. It can use Sleep Powder. Lopunny could use, like, Max Flare if it gets a fire move in this gen, and set the Sun for Lilligant, and then Sleep Powder stuff. There's not a ton of offense on this team beside Bewear. Lopunny can't Mega Evolve anymore, meaning it loses a lot of its offense. So, yeah. That definitely hurts, I think. I don't think this is a terrible team. It's objectively better than Guzma, but not that much better. So we're going to put her in C tier, I think. Yeah, Guzma's pretty trash. Yeah, I'm just trying to think if there's anything you could do with this. The thing is, without speed control, it becomes really difficult. Yeah, I don't think this is very, very strong. And last but not least, we have this guy. So I don't know who this dude is, but his team is Heat. Okay, so he's from Gen 2. He's from Stadium. He's got Parasect Tyranitar, which is super strong, and then Wobbuffet, which is cool, Octillery, Hypno, and Houndoom. So there's a lot going on here. Parasect is actually pretty nice. It's like one of the only redirectors in Generation 2 and 1. Wobbuffet's cool as well. Like, you can use Shadow Take to trap things in. He's got Houndoom, which is relatively fast, I guess. Not super fast. Octillery and Hypno. Like, so basically you do a solid Trick Room mode here with Hypno, Parasect, lead. Set Trick Room up with Rage Powder and Trick Room. And then you have, like, Octillery with Water Spout and Tyranitar with, like, in Trick Room as well. And you could use Wobbuffet as, like, an alternate mode as well. Because Wobbuffet actually has some usage. Or, like, some use, in my opinion. Like, people kind of just always overlook it. But you can do some cool things with Wobbuffet. And yeah, Houndoom as well. I would say, like, the teams that have Houndoom, which is a few of them, would be a lot better if we still had Mega Evolution, because Mega Houndoom is much more threatening than base Houndoom. But yeah, I still think Houndoom is, like, a good Pokemon to have here. You can hit other Steel types. You can hit Grass types, which hurt. Oh, excuse me. Which threaten Octillery. And you have a nice Fire, Water, Grass core as well. I like this team a lot. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm going to put it in the S tier. I'm sorry for the image. It's the only one I could find. So yeah, this is how I think I'd rank the evil team leaders and their teams. It's obviously difficult. A lot of these Pokemon aren't in Sword and Shield. We don't know. I don't know if these legendary Pokemon can Dynamax. Like, can you have Dynamax Zekrom? Can you have Dynamax Groudon? Oh god, please no. Can you have Dynamax Xerneas? I'm quitting VGC. I'm quitting Pokemon. So I don't know. There's a lot of questions that need to be answered, but since this is just, like, theoretical and for fun anyway, like, I don't know. I think it's fine. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I think this is all I want to say about this video. Thank you so much for watching, and, yeah, if you liked the video, please make sure to leave a like and comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.